welcome to episode 2 of Better Together, which is a podcast about work skills. I am Julie Smith. I am the development director for the Work Skills Foundation. I am really excited to be hosting this podcast series with Stacey Anderson.
Thank you so much, Julie. I'm so excited to be here. And ladies, I'm so excited to be here with you this morning. Thank you so much for being here. Julie, I know one of the reasons why we wanted to start doing this podcast is to tell the stories, like we're going to hear today, of some of the incredibly gifted artists and individuals that work at Work Skills. And we have a really great one here today. So I'm excited to get to that. But before we do that, I'd love to just give a little background because this is my first time on the podcast, and I'm very excited to be here. I started working with Work Skills several years ago, just with Julie, and later was asked to be a board member, which was an incredible honor. So currently I'm on the foundation board as a board member. And the reason why I love Work Skills and I've been with Work Skills for so long is because I love the cause and the mission that Julie, you represent, and ladies, that you represent every day too. And that's to provide independence, growth, and inspiration for everybody here in Livingston County. Providing an everyday goal and ability to succeed is so important to, I think, overall mental health, the betterment of the community, and just a really well-rounded life. And I think that Work Skills provides that so well. And so I love working with an organization and staying close with an organization that does just that. And they do that through working, learning, and living, right?
That is right. And we are so happy to have you as part of our team. And I would like to now introduce to our listeners Heather and Laurie. As a parent of someone who has barriers, please tell us about when Heather came into this world, if you would.
Well, it's definitely a story that needs to be repeated and often, because we never want to go back to that time period. Heather was born in 1989, and at that point, I was in my late 20s. I was not expecting to have a baby with a disability, and almost immediately after she was born, the attending physician said, "We suspect, because of some physical characteristics, that she may have Down syndrome." And that just sort of went right over my head. I wasn't focused on that as a brand new mother. I was focused on, oh my gosh, I got a baby girl, since we had a boy first.
Right.
And then we, dealt with that Down syndrome as time went on. So they put me into a separate room. But the one part that I remember the most at the hospital was that one of the other physicians on the OB team came in. He was ready to discharge me. And his first words were, you don't have to take her home. I wish I could go back in time and tell him exactly what I thought of that statement.
Right.
I was so stunned as a young mother. I had no idea how to respond appropriately. And I said, that thought never crossed my mind. Heather did end up staying in the hospital for a few more days because of low oxygen, but we brought her home. And the best advice I ever got was just treat her like you do your other children. Have the same expectations, the same routines. Just keep it normal. And That's what we've done ever since. But
you're a mom, right? She's your child. And I think when I think about Work Skills and the people I've met who are the family members of our participants or clients, what a different road that is. And I'm sure that there are times where it seems kind of lonely, and it's probably difficult to figure out what the next steps are. So that was back in 89?
Mm-hmm.
So Heather, let's see if I do math. Heather's now like 12? I do the math right.
How old are you, Heather?
34.
Yep.
34.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think at some point in your journey with Heather, somebody maybe told you about this place called Work Skills. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, what was really nice, Brighton Schools had a program as well that would allow children with special needs to get out into the workplace and try out different jobs. I was running my own business at that point, a computer-based graphics business, and the owner of Michelle's Salon, Michelle, I did a lot of work for her, and she knew Heather really well. And as Heather was getting near graduation from high school, she said, "You need to take a look at Work Skills." And I sort of hemmed and hawed. And as I talked to other parents in the community that had children with special needs, one in particular painted a very dreary picture of what Work Skills was like. That it was dark, that it smelled of oil out on the assembly floor, that there wasn't any socialization. And I thought, there's no way I'm sending my daughter to there.
Right.
So I broke one of my first cardinal rules, which is always base your decisions on firsthand experience, not on second or third hand. But unfortunately, I didn't take my own advice at that point. So several more years went by, and Heather graduated from the LESA Adult Transition Program, and my goal was to get her employment, to have a sense of purpose in this life. And so we put together her resume, and we went out to some of the local stores that I knew Heather would really excel at. You want to talk about a dynamite laundry folder? Just hire Heather. Man, it looks like a machine folded those T-shirts.
Heather, we will be talking after the podcast.
Heather, I've
please.
got
Okay.
a world of work for you.
So we approached a few stores that could benefit from having Heather's expertise. And we were told, oh, we don't hire people with disabilities. Had I did learn it early on, pick and choose your battles wisely. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I can't go up against a big corporation. But the more no's that we heard, it was so frustrating that then we ended up going to Michigan Rehabilitation Services and working with a counselor there. And she suggested, hey, take a look at Work Skills. And she arranged for a one-on-one tour with Todd. Mm-hmm. So Heather, Marty, her stepdad, and I all went over there, had a chance to go through the facility, and we were blown away. It was nothing like, and if I could go back in time and tell Michelle, I'm so sorry. I should have listened to you right at the beginning. We could have been so much further ahead with Heather's sense of purpose, her enjoyment of life, had we just made the decision to get over to Work Skills sooner. But the facility was bright. You saw people laughing. You saw people working together. You saw caring employees, the staff, working to make sure everybody was successful. There was nothing dreary about that place. It was one of the happiest places, busy, that I had ever seen. And immediately Heather wanted to be there.
I am so thankful for Michelle, and she was a friend of mine as well. And maybe you weren't able to tell her in person, but I'm sure she knows. Mm-hmm. And she is smiling down on you, Heather, at how successful you are. So thanks for sharing that story.
Sure, my pleasure.
I have a question, if you don't mind me jumping in. But Laurie, you mentioned how difficult it was to find resources or to sort of get to the point of going to Work Skills. If you could talk to a parent that was in your position at this point, what advice would you give them as they sort of start this navigational journey?
The best advice I have, talk to everyone. Mm-hmm. I always make it a point to let people know that I have a daughter with Down syndrome, that she's employed, that she's got her own apartment. I'm always talking because you never know who needs to hear that message. Some people are not as outgoing. They're more introverted. They're sort of pigeonholed. They think that there's no hope. And I always encourage everybody, talk about your experiences with everybody so that someone down the line will hear what it is that you have to share. As a matter of fact, I was talking to some of the moms at Special Olympics, and as they learn about what Heather's doing and what she has achieved and the activities that she's involved in, they're asking me, how did you do that? And I'm happy to share. So ask questions, talk to other people that have a child with a disability, talk to other professionals in our community. We've learned that community mental health has been a huge supporter of Heather and making sure that she got connected with all the supports that she needed to come to Work Skills. Right. We've worked with the ARC. We've worked with Special Olympics. There's just so many. And I'm sure there's other, areas we're going to find as we continue this journey. This isn't the end.
Yeah.
We are still in this race for the long haul. And I think we're just going to get better and better with the opportunities that we see afforded to Heather. But if I was a new parent starting out, connect with somebody. Don't think that you have to do this all by yourself. You don't. You're not alone. Yeah. Reach out and people will be there more than willing to help you.
Absolutely. That's so powerful, because how many times do we hear that it takes a village to raise a child or to, raise a healthy adult? And, I know we were chatting before about how many resources are available right here in Livingston County, but how everybody's journey is different. So, that deck of cards of resources looks different for everybody. But I know that Work Skills can fulfill a lot of the services that are needed within that. So
this is so much fun. And I'm just looking at Heather over there smiling at me, thinking, Julie, you're just being Julie. So did you think it would be any different just because there's a camera rolling?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So, Laurie, you did mention Special Olympics, and I know that Heather is at Work Skills. You can tell us how many days, whatever, but she does so many other things in addition to work, and you've hit on so many of my key words: the sense of community, hope, purpose, and without me asking you to say those words, you did, and that makes my heart really happy, because that's why we do what we do at Work Skills. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Heather's extracurricular activities?
Well, Heather,
oh my gosh,
she's going to be the best one to answer all of those. But at a very early age, Heather has an older brother and a younger brother, and they were huge supporters of her in their own unique ways. And so they made sure that she was included with everything that we did. I still can remember we had out in our backyard a tree fort and no ladder going up. We had a rope with the knots in it, so you had to climb up. And of course, the doctors had originally told us, don't expect too much. She's going to have low muscle tone. So one day I'm out in the backyard and it's like, wait a minute, where did Heather go? And I'm looking all around the swing set, the sandbox, the patio. And all of a sudden, I see her smiling little face looking out from the top of the tree house. She had climbed up that rope ladder.
Yes, you have.
So that's the thing that we have. There's nothing that's off limits. Mm-hmm. Everything is possible.
Yep.
And sometimes I have to even remind myself, because I can be my own worst enemy.
Right.
I remember thinking when Heather was in high school and she would get home, I always made sure somebody was home to let her in the door. I don't know why I didn't give her a house key, but I didn't at that point. And one time I came home, found Heather already inside the house. She was alone. Nobody had been there. And I said, how did you get in? And she showed me, hey, I just used the garage door pad key on the outside and put the number in. And
come on, Mom.
The problem is that I didn't think she could remember those 4 digits. Her younger brother, Kevin, who is one of her idols, had taught her the 4 numbers. And so she was fine. And so that's sometimes we are our own worst enemy. But we have reached out. We've been so fortunate with the resources in the community. But Special Olympics has been a huge bonus in Heather's life. I mean, starting at age 7, right? Yeah. You started with gymnastics, gold medal out there on her first time at the state games.
Wow.
Yep. Natural athlete.
Yep, she sure is. And that continues to be a huge part of her life. But she's also has begun giving back to the community. And I think that's important. Everyone needs to give back, regardless of your situation. And so Heather volunteers 2 days a week at Love Inc., which is in Howell, a resale store that helps people in the community with their proceeds.
What do you do there?
Well, you help put stuff out on the floor.
Yeah, I think stuff in the floor.
And you arrange
Listen.
arranging things out on the floor.
Yep, I did there.
And you help the clients when they come
I
in.
did there too.
Customers come in and you'll ask them if they need any help or if they're looking for something.
That's awesome. And I know, Laurie, you are kind of a social media influencer, and I will want both of your autographs after the show. But I see you every Friday on Facebook. Hi, it's Laurie. I'm at Love Inc., blah, blah, blah. And I didn't realize that Heather was with you a lot of the time. So good for you, Heather. Thank you.
Yeah. And what a testament to a well-rounded life of knowing, hey, I want to give back to those who might need it too. And I think that's incredible. Laurie, you hit on something that I think any mother can relate with. I know I certainly did as a mother of two, of never underestimating your children. And I'm so guilty of it. But that's true for even children with disabilities. It's amazing what I've seen come out of Work Skills. And I think it's very easy as the community to underestimate anybody. But my goodness, I love being proven wrong. And, Heather, you're just a testament to that. You prove us wrong every day, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, Heather was one of the first children in Livingston County to go through the school system using the inclusion program.
Okay.
So she was put into her home school, right where her brothers went, not to the building that housed the special education program. She had supports in the classroom, such as a parapro would be in the classroom where she was at. And it never singled her out either. It was where, especially the younger ages, a lot of kids, there's a varying level of skills. And so the parapro was actually able to take several students, including Heather. So she was never singled out, never made to feel that she was different. And so that really helped us as we went through the public school system. I think it set the right tone.
Sure.
So I think we've been groundbreakers for a long time. We'll never accept something that shouldn't be accepted.
Sure.
When you're told, oh, you can't do that just because you have a disability, that sends up the red flag for me that,
Right.
oh, yes, Heather and I are going to find a way.
Back up the bus.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I want our listeners to know. I guess the best way to pose the question would be, Heather, is there any sport you have not yet done?
Soccer.
Soccer.
Okay.
Okay.
How about football?
No.
You didn't play football.
Heather, how many medals do you have from the special? I know your mom had mentioned that you got a gold medal right out the gate on gymnastics, but how many more medals from then to now did you get from Special Olympics?
I said bowling. And
Got a medal in bowling.
yeah.
All right.
Oh, bowling, basketball,
Basketball.
golf.
Golf.
My favorite
Yeah.
is snowshoe racing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're coming up on that time of year, aren't we?
Yeah.
So on your wall in your apartment, do you have all your medals hanging there?
Yeah, in my room.
And how many are there?
Oh,
Hundreds?
300?
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Almost.
Almost. Yeah.
You are no stranger to that medal ceremony, are you?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to ask another question based on something that Laurie has mentioned twice. Based on something that Mom has mentioned twice. And that is, you have your own apartment?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
And did I hear that maybe you just did some renovations there in one of the rooms?
Your bathroom?
My bathroom. There.
Oh.
Yeah, completely gutted it, didn't you?
Yeah.
did you
it's
do?
Done.
So a brand new shower,
Yep.
shelves, new cabinet, new toilet. Yep.
Everything.
And I'll say this, I know from a home improvement standpoint, it is not very cheap to do that. How did you pay for that?
Oh.
From money that you earned between work skills and SSI
Yeah.
and being very
weggeld.
frugal.
Weggeld.
Oh my gosh, good for you. So when you are at Work Skills, how do you earn money? What do you do?
I see parts. Weggeld.
Yep, she puts the parts together.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What is your favorite thing to do at Work Skills?
Lunch.
Lunch.
I don't blame you.
Thanks for keeping it real, Heather.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, I see some
Yeah.
things across the
Yeah.
table here of
Oh, yeah.
other
You're
ways
gonna
you make money.
quite a pretty penny off of me, I think, on these.
Okay, so I'm going to apologize to those of you who are listening and not actually watching because Heather's also in our Artisan Corner program. So that's another way that you earn money to renovate your bathroom and buy an e-bike. These are teasers. We might have to have you
Yeah.
guys on every month. Anyway, so Heather assembles these joyful jotters. I don't know if you can see them. Is that the camera over there? So we have like just some random colored ones, and then we have some Halloween ones. Stacy,
This is fine.
Stacy is going to have to buy this one because she started using it this morning.
Yep.
But I seriously, so they're called Joyful Jotters. And Heather, I just want to tell you, I did a little Artisan Corner pop-up the last 2 days.
Okay.
And I know I sold at least 8 of these, perhaps more. What was that?
Wow.
Wow. I know. I was. Wow. Yeah, exactly. Like, seriously. So these, and I think that there was maybe a pair of earrings or a bracelet. I don't remember, something else. But, like, this is super cool. So they're Joyful Jotters, and we will be happy to tell our listeners and viewers where to get your very own Joyful Jotters. But, Laurie, Mom, it seems to me that we should perhaps be paying you for doing some sales and marketing for us. For Heather.
Yes. Well, yes. And it's just a proud mama moment. So I have a large following on Facebook and Instagram. And every time Heather puts something together, whether it be the snowman Christmas ornaments, the
Sold some of
pens,
those too.
her paintings, her jewelry, I'll put it out on Facebook. And that's actually one of my connections is the one that came up with the term Joyful Jotters. But because I put that information out there and actually I don't even try to sell it. I just let people know I am so proud of my daughter that she's able to create such fantastic artwork in so many forms that I always make the posts public so that as many people can hear this message as possible. And because of that, we had a woman from, I believe, South Carolina. They were putting on a buddy walk, which for those not familiar with the buddy walk, that's to bring Down syndrome awareness. Usually it's held in October. And their buddy walk, they were putting together gift bags for all the participants. And she wanted to include items that were made by people with Down syndrome. And she saw these pens, and I forget how many she ordered.
I think it was a couple hundred, wasn't it?
Yes. And
Yeah.
Heather,
Wow.
I don't know if Heather's ever forgiven me for that because that meant she had to put all those together in a very short period of time. So I think Michelle, the art director, had you going as soon as you walked in the door till the moment that the bus arrived to pick you up to bring you back home. She was making pens.
So that's really funny. It just made me think of something else because we really appreciate you being here with us today. And Heather, so today's Wednesday, and I'm sorry that you're not at work making money. So
Yeah.
what do you, Wednesdays, are you doing assembly or are you doing art on Wednesdays? Art on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So those of you who want pens better get your orders in early.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, they make great holiday presents.
Absolutely. Well, I want to back up here for just a minute and just kind of talk about this. We're not talking about couple $100 paychecks. You're making real money here at Work Skills. I mean, we're talking bathroom remodel, e-bike, Heather, I mean, what is your favorite thing to purchase with your money when you get your paycheck?
You like to buy things at Love Inc. at the resale store.
Yeah. 吃两次.
You do that too. And
Yeah.
what I remember some beautiful purchases you've made, clothing, and what's your favorite purse? The Vera Bradley?
What?
Oh, she loves to buy those. How many purses do you have, Heather? Do you know?
3.
20?
No, 3.
3?
Yeah.
Oh, I think she's got 23.
But 3 are your favorite, right? That you're cycling through right now, the seasons. That's fantastic. And so just for everyone listening that doesn't know, through the art program, these artists are getting paid for anything that they sell, right, Julie?
Yep.
Anything from the Joyful Jotters all the way to art. So you, aside from being an accomplished Special Olympian, snowshoer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you are a professional artist, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. How many people can say that, you know?
Oh, and what's nice is that we have all of her art framed and hanging throughout our house. But in her apartment, she did such a cool thing. I'll have to get you a picture, Julie. When you walk in her front door, it's all covered in artwork of all the pieces that she's done, whether it's at Work Skills or now she's making art at home as well. So she has an art easel, all the paints, the canvas. So she's able to continue what she is exposed to at the Artisan Corner. She brings it home and creates art for family members, for gifts to give away, and then to decorate her own apartment with.
That's awesome. You're awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
Heather.
Yeah.
I'm in awe.
Yeah, and so one of the things I don't typically always work in Brighton, and anytime I'm in Brighton and I see Heather, she always says, "Hi, Julie," don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. And I'll come in the art room and she'll tell me what she's doing, and I'll see her out assembling parts.
And I did want to ask you, Heather, do you have some friends at Work Skills that you like to hang out with?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you hang out outside of Work Skills?
Not inside.
Well, when you're not working at Work Skills, do you go out together?
Yeah.
What do you guys like to do?
I don't know.
Well, what are you going to do this Saturday with Kel and Wendy?
Oh, yeah.
Trick or trunk?
Vraag aan me.
Oh man, are you gonna get all the candy?
I heb graag.
No, she can't have chocolate.
No.
Yep.
You can give that to
Probably
Mom.
smart.
Yeah.
Darn, Mom.
Wait, are you going to wear a costume?
Yes.
What are you going to be?
Frozen.
The Frozen
The
Princess.
first one.
Elsa.
Yep.
Oh man, that's my favorite.
Can we get pictures?
I will.
That's amazing. So you mentioned Halloween, and obviously it's cooled off quite a bit in the past week here in Michigan. We're kind of entering into that season where a lot of people want to give back, or they want to do something or get involved. What would you all say about Work Skills? What does it mean to you when we've talked a little bit about Work Skills and what it does mean to you, but Laurie and Heather, as donors in the community, what does it mean to you to give to Work Skills? What does that feel like, and what would you like other people to know?
It's a great question. And I think one of the most important things that people can do is look for an opportunity where you can help improve the life of others that are maybe not as fortunate as you, that may not have had all the same opportunities as you have. And look for those organizations that have a proven track record, that have the resources and the people. I have to say, Work Skills, it's the people that make it such a successful venture. It's people like Howard and Todd and Julie and Michelle and all the others. They've helped my daughter achieve a dream that we didn't even think was anything to even dream about way back then. That this has made a world of difference for Heather. She's independent. She has her own money. She has things that she's achieved because of being in Work Skills, and not just monetary.
Right.
It's also her level of confidence.
Yeah.
Her own ability to give back to the community too is fostered through the core values that I think Work Skills brings forward. It's not just about, let's donate these poor people, they need this help. It's not that. Work Skills has given Heather integrity. It's given her respect for herself. It's given her so much more that motivates her to go above and beyond where she's at. She's already achieved so much, and I can only think, what's the next 30 years going to bring? That this is just going to go on. And I love that the employees at WorkSkill recognize that these are individuals. These are worthy individuals. These are individuals who will make a difference in this world. Everybody should have that opportunity. So if anybody is looking for a worthwhile cause to donate to become part of, look at Work Skills. It's been hands down a game changer for our family and for Heather.
Thank you, Laurie. Yeah, and like what you said resonates with me. Again, you're making sure to mention all the words that were in my head that I wanted to make sure people understood. And you're absolutely right. As staff, people, like, we serve people. It's why we do what we do every day. And I do encourage people, if you want to learn more about Work Skills as a resource, please reach out.
I think you just so eloquently summed up, my personal why and why so many people are in love with this organization. Because, just like you had mentioned when you first had Heather, immediately you're hit with barriers. She can't do this. Gosh, you don't even have to keep her if you don't want to. She's not going to be able to climb a rope. She's not going to be able to let herself in the house. She's not going to be able to graduate from high school. All of those things you're just constantly hit with. I feel like, dousing your flame with cold water. And here comes Work Skills, removing all that cold water, giving you, more fire, more fuel for your fire, giving you money allowing you a chance to earn money to become independent. And I think that that's amazing. And so when we talk about Work Skills and we talk about the impact in the community, I think it's just so important for our community to know that we're here. We're here for many other capacities other than just the art program that everybody knows so well, or the assembly program. There's lots of different services within Work Skills, and with the foundation itself. So, the fundraising arm of Work Skills, when you give to Work Skills, we're here making sure that somebody has absolutely everything they need. Cost not the problem there, right? We make sure that we fill every bucket that we can without having to turn anyone away and get them to where they need to be. So thank you so much for being such ambassadors for this work. And Heather, it is just an honor to hear your story again. I love it. I love how successful you are, and I can't wait to celebrate you in the future too.
Well, thank you for having us. We've enjoyed being here.
All right. Well, we're going to get wrapped up here, but I did want to say just thank you both again for coming in tonight. And we are so excited about this podcast. This is just such a fun venture. I'm so excited to be your partner, Julie. Mm-hmm. And to look forward to future podcasts. We're going to be doing these regularly where we're able to highlight many of our community partners, maybe some more artists like Heather, but others in the community that are helping to remove barriers to employment for anyone in Livingston County. And so we're very, very excited for what we have planned. And Laurie, like you mentioned, if you'd like to get engaged with Work Skills, whether it's from a volunteer level, whether you need services, whether you just want a tour or to get more involved or just to give and make an impact in the lives of so many, visit our website. That is www.Julie?
wskills.com.
Thank you. wskills.com. And also look in the show notes, and we will be sure to get you connected to where you need to go. But until then, thank you so much for joining us today.